So now we've kind of gone through the background, and so now we're actually going to start with union and intersection. So we're going to start off with intersection. And so I like to think of intersection as what is being shared. And so that'll make more sense when I do the example on the next page. But the intersection symbol is just an upside down U. So this is the intersection symbol. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to intersection, and it'll make more sense once I do the example on the next page. So now we're going to do an example of intersection. And so intersection and union will always be written in this format. But here we know that this is intersection because of the intersection symbol, which is again the upside down U. And so when we do intersection, we always have to look at the symbol. So here it says AC and this symbol above it. Well, we know, and as I talked about, that a line has two arrows, which means here we're talking about line AC. And we know that lines extend infinitely. So we know that this is, here is A and here is C. And we know that it will go all the way through. So we'll just go all the way through here, and all the way through here in the other direction. So here is line AC. And next we're going to talk about DE. So here we're going to circle this. And we know that this is also line again because of the two arrows. And then we know that D is right here and E is right here. And now we know that it again extends infinitely. And so as I said, intersection is what is being shared between the two things. So we've drawn AC, and I find that drawing with other colors helps because then you can see it better. But again, I draw AC, and we know that a line extends infinitely, so it's all the way through. And DE is also a line, and it extends again infinitely through, so it's all the way through. And what is being shared? So when they cross, what is being shared? Well, if you take a look, what is being shared is B right here. So the answer to this would be simply B because they both share point B. And that's all there is to intersection. So union is pretty different from intersection. So intersection is what is being shared, what is common. And so union is what will form between two or more things. And so the symbol for union is just a U. And so this is pretty easy to remember because union starts with U, and the symbol for union is just a U. So that's the way I remember that. And so yeah, that's all there is to union, and the next example should help you understand union better. So now we're going to look at an example of union. And so as you know, as I said, union and intersection will always be written in this type of a format. And so we know that this is union again because of the U symbol. And so when we do union, just like when we did intersection, we always have to look at the symbol above. So this, as we know, is a ray because we know that a ray has a line and then only one arrow. And so again, we know that a ray starts with the endpoint. So here we know that this ray starts with B and then extends through A. So let's find B. So here's B, and then it extends infinitely through A. And so that's all there is to that. And now we're going to look at BD. And so this is also a ray because it again has a line and only one arrow. And so here we also know that it starts at B, but then it goes through D. So let's look at B. Let's find B. So again, look at that. They're sharing an endpoint, and then it goes through D. So where is D? So there's D, and it goes all the way through D. And so now we look at this and we say, okay, well, here we have two rays, but they also share an endpoint. So we know that this is an angle because an angle is formed when two rays share a common point. So here the answer will be we know an angle, And again, as I said, when you name an angle, what the point that they share is always in the middle. So here it's going to be A, B, D, or, so A, B, D, or it could be angle DBA. And yeah, that's all there is to union. So now we have some practice. I want you to pause the video and try these on your own, but I'm going to start them right now. So I hope that you pause the video and you try them. And so yeah, let's get started. So first off, we always have to look at the symbol. So here we have intersection because it's an upside down U. And then right after we look at the symbol and we know that what we're going to be looking for, we have to look at this symbol. So as we know, as we can see, we have two arrows. So this indicates a line. And so as we know in a line, it goes infinitely in both directions. So here we're going to be looking at line HE. So we have to find points H. So this is point H. And this is point E. And then we have to draw a line in both directions through them that goes on forever. So here it just goes all the way through. And next we're going to be looking at, again, let's look at the symbol, line GC. So let's find G. So here we have G, and this is C. And again, because it's a line, we have to go on infinitely through here, all the way through here. And so now we have to look at, well, what do they share? When they cross, what is it that they have in common? Well, here we can see that it's right here, this point. And so this point is A. So the answer is A. And this, here, we'll write that a little bit better. Next, we're going to look at the next problem. And so let's look at this symbol. So it's again intersection. And then we have to look at, again, the symbol above the letters. And so this symbol is array because it has only one arrow. And we know the array starts at this point and then extends through here. So we know that this is going to start at B and extend all the way through G. So let's erase this before we start. So first, let's start at B and then find G. And then we know that it's going to start at B and then go all the way through G and continue to go. So there we go. And next, we have to look at FB. And again, let's look at the symbol above. So here we know that it's array because again, only one arrow, and we know that it's going to start at F and go all the way through B. So here, it's again going to start at F, so right here. It's going to start here at F, and then go all the way through B. So now we have to look at intersection. So what do they share? Well, in order to figure that out, we have to see when they overlap, meaning when are both of the lines together through what area? Well, we know that they're together here, so they start at F, and then they go all the way through here, and then they overlap all the way through here. So now we marked where they overlap, and so this is going to be our answer. And so it's going to be FB, and you might be like, well, FB what? Is it a line, array? And so it's actually a line segment because we can see here we have an endpoint and here we have an endpoint, and that's what they share. So it's going to be line segment FB. Next, let's look at the next problem. And so here we always have to look at the symbol. So this is union. So we know that union is what they form when they come together. And so with union, we again look at the symbol. So this is array because it starts at A and then goes all the way through F. So let's find A. And then again goes all the way through F, which is here. And then next we have to look at this symbol, which is again array because it starts at A and then goes all the way through B. There's only one arrow. So let's look at A. So here's A, and then there is B. And so again, starts at A and then extends all the way through B. And so we already know that two rays form an angle. Well, let's see if that's true. Well, here they share an endpoint, which is again called the vertex, and then we have two rays. So yes, this is an angle. So for this one, we can either name it angle F A B, or you can name it angle BAF. And the same thing actually applies with the above problem. You can also name it BF, whichever one you want. Both are correct. Okay, so we're moving on to the next problem. So here again, start by looking at the symbol. So this is union again. And so again, union is what is formed between the two rays. Here we have rays. And so we know that it's a ray because again, line and one arrow. So only one arrow. And we know that it's going to start at B and extend all the way through G. And here it's going to start at F and extend all the way through B. So let's start with this one. And so it's going to again start at B and then extend all the way through G. So start at B and then go all the way through G. And then for the next one, it's gonna start at F and go all the way through B. So let's find F and then go all the way through B. And so now this is union. So what is formed when these two come together? Well, we can see that they both go on infinitely. So there's one arrow here and there's one arrow here. And so when they come together, when two arrows come together, we know that we have a line. So the answer to this is a line. And we can use, again, any points that go through here. Because remember, when we name a line, we can use any 2 points on the line. So I can say line HG, for instance. But again, have to put the line symbol above. Or I can say line BG. Again, any points. So I can use this point, this point, this point, or that point. Any point you can use. And so again, there are more answers. And so for the last one, again, take a look at the symbol. So here we actually have two symbols. So we have two union symbols because they are U's. Again, union symbol is a U. And so we again always have to look at the symbol above. So here we have 3 line segments. So first we're going to start with line segment BD. So we know that a line segment has a start and an end point. And so it is named by its start and end. So here it will start at B and end at D. So start at B and end at D. So this is our first line. And then the next line will be, and this is again union, so what they will form together is D. So it starts at D and then goes through F. So here's F. And then the last one is also a line segment, and again, we'll start at F and go all the way through B. And so if you remember, triangles are made up of 3 line segments. And so again here we have 3 line segments. We have line segment BD, we have line segment DF, and line segment FB. And it is what will form between these 3. And so here we have a triangle. So again, triangle symbol is, we have to write a triangle symbol, and then we can use we can start in any order. So we can say D, we can say D, F, B, we can say triangle BFD. Again, as long as you include all the points that they share. So we can only use the points where they meet. So only these 3 points, but again in any order. So you cannot use any of the other points, only the points where they intersect. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to this.